I'm Danny Kanell with CBS Sports HQ, running down every bowl game this season. That's right, all 40 of them versus the spread. Whether you want to make a little bit extra or you want to get involved in your bowl pools, we're here to help. Got my guys Tom Fornelli and Chip Patterson, both to help me here. It's time for the Arizona Bowl. We should call this We Own the SEC Bowl because both these teams own wins over SEC teams. That's right, Georgia State and Wyoming square off. Wyoming is a 7-point favorite. Tom, I'll start with you. Which way you leaning?
Man, I hate the spread in this game. I think that the touchdown, I feel like Vegas just said, throw a touchdown on it, and they were exactly right because I think Wyoming is the better team, and I think that it should definitely be favored, and it's probably going to win this game. And if I was taking the spread, I would probably take Wyoming, but at the same time, this is a Cowboys team that is built on its defense and limiting points, so a touchdown spread in a Wyoming game isn't always the safest proposition. And I also worry about Dan Ellington, that Georgia State QB. You mentioned Georgia State beating Tennessee earlier this year. That was Dan Ellington going off and nearly winning that game on his own on the road in Neyland Stadium against Tennessee. And I worry about what he might be able to do against this Wyoming defense. So it's hard for me to take the spread. What I prefer instead is the under because, as I mentioned, this is a Wyoming team that is built on its defense. In Wyoming's last 39 games, the under is 28-10-1. That's an incredible stat. It just shows the kind of way that they play. The under is also 6-1 the last 7 times Wyoming has been a favorite because it just gets a lead and then kind of wants to sit on you until you tap out. And the same can be said of Georgia State. In its last 7 games, the under is 5-2. So I look at everything in this matchup. I don't think this is going to be the most exciting game. I do think it's going to be close, which is why I'm not really fond of the spread. But I think the under, if you're taking anything, is by far the smartest play that you can take in the Arizona Bowl.
I think this is one of the best games of the whole bowl season. I think this is must-see TV. I bet this game's going to be available to stream on CBSSports.com and through the CBS Sports mobile app. All you need to do is log in through your cable provider. No. I'm going to take Wyoming, and I'm going to feel real confident about it. And it's because of the Wyoming defense that does factor into a lot of the reasons why Tom is taking the under. I just think that Wyoming is going to be able to be in this position to sort of lean on Georgia State to wear this team down. And then over the course of 4 quarters, it might be a little bit of a sweat on the cover, but I don't think it will be ever a sweat on who's going to win this game. We might get a little push, but I'm going to say that they do get the cover, maybe a 10-point win. I see it somewhere around the likes of like a 23-13 Wyoming victory. So the Cowboys, who have been a little bit disappointing in the last month or so, I think Craig Bohl gets them right, gets them back together, and they turn in one of their better performances of the season in the bowl game.
I'm going to go with company man Chip Patterson, highly touting this game. And it is going to be entertaining on CBS Sports Network. You'll be able to watch that one and all the places that Chip talked about. But I also think what's going to play a major factor in this one, Wyoming being able to, quote, run away with it. Georgia State's run defense, 116th in the country. So I think this could be one where Wyoming, as Chip said, leans on them a little bit throughout the game. I think possessions for Georgia State are going to be tough to come by. I think they could be playing a little bit of catch-up throughout the game. So I'm going to take Wyoming laying the 7 as well. But in any case, make sure you check this one out. It is December 31st at 4:30 p.m. on CBS Sports Network.